Today is April 2019, and I want to give an update to what's going on with my present situation. I was released from the hospital from Mount Sinai this morning. The biggest issue was my sugar. My sugar is out of control. My diabetes is out of control. I'm back in the hospital again. Trying to lower my sugar because it went up to like 574 again. But a lot of it is due to the stress that CUCS has put me under. I came out today and I come back to the residence for CUCS, and I find out that they, are still with the bullshit. They put me out of the building for 2 days. I'm on the street. Told me I needed to go to a drop-in center because unfortunately I'm prohibited from being in the building, which, for no other reason than catching them in their lies and how they try to, deny that they have a problem with sexual offenders in their building, in the co-ed program, which is a danger to women. And there are other things that are going on, but I have a problem with one individual, and I feel that it was a setup because they knew that I had a problem with this individual before, and they put him right near me again in the dorm setting. So it was like I was being set up to have a confrontation with this individual, since he had put someone special to me under threat, physical threat, and I had to take action to make him stop. And so they put this individual near me again, knowing that we had already had 2 prior confrontations, and so it was a setup. And then to find out that he tried to make passes at a little girl that was 15, 14 years old, Macy's in Herald Square, 34th Street, and it was confirmed by a witness who was also a client, and all the staff would do was deny until he came forward and stated that this occurred. Because for the past year, this is, as you know from my previous videos, that this is a strong subject for me. And for them to have put this person right by me again, it was as though they were causing this to be a setup so that I would react to his presence and then react even more finding out what he had just did last week. I have here that I came home and I'm not even to even go to check my personal belongings because these people prohibited me from entering the building. Here I have 311 calls with 3 separate different case numbers, okay, of complaints, okay, complaints. And they were supposed to send an outreach team today, and the outreach team never came. You understand? They were canceling calls, and yet the outreach team never showed up. So I kind of have a beef with the city, and I kind of have a beef with 311, and I kind of have a beef with the outreach team, but most of all I have a beef with everyone who turns a blind eye towards people who, I don't know how much of this story got out around the country, but locally here in New York, we had an incident approximately 2-3 weeks ago where an elderly homeless woman was assaulted on the train, and brutally assaulted at that. She was kicked in the face by some jerk-off. And, everybody stood around and did nothing but videotape and ooh and ah. Like it was, something to World Star, This is the type of individuals that come into the shelter system who do things like this. I don't know if you're familiar with the video that I posted the other day where there was a young lady who was killed up in the Bronx. She was a manager for a shelter system, and she was killed by a former client. And yet, CUCS Kelly continues to bring these type of individuals into a co-ed facility. And by exposing it, they retaliated against me by putting me in psych for 72 hours, which the psych was very professional. They were cordial, the most, professional people that you could, hire to, handle people of this matter. And they're talking to me and they're going, that's interesting that you would be going through that. You're like a political prisoner. And I said, yeah, because I feel very strongly about this, And, the medical staff at Mount Sinai, the medical staff at St. Luke, aside from one jerk off that was really an idiot, but I'm not even going to give him the time of day. This man told me it was not my responsibility to do what I'm doing as far as trying to expose the negative shit that's going on in CUCS Kelly, that it's not my job. I'd said, God forbid your mother's ever attacked on the street and somebody thinks the same way you think. They would never be helping your mother on the street and they would let her get her ass kicked. And I will not let that happen. But if you're going to let that happen, that's on you. So he stood with his mouth shut and his tail between his legs. I'm at Harlem Hospital, very professional staff, very patient, because believe me, there's been a lot of crazy shit going on here tonight. And, it's just very professional. I give these people the utmost respect and salute. The EMS staff that have tended to me were very professional. It seems that my sugar is a little bit out of control, and I don't know whether it has to do with, my diet or my system breaking down. They're the professionals. They know more than I do. But as far as what CUCS has done to me, it's a retaliatory tit for tat, very childish and irresponsible to throw medical patients out on the street and not give them rest and shelter when I have done nothing but expose the nasty little secret that they have about housing sexual predators in unsuspecting neighborhoods. I think that we've gone over why this is inappropriate, why this should not be occurring. You don't take people from Rhode Island who mess with their students and put them in housing. You don't take people who attack women in your program and put them in housing 3 weeks later and then treat the victim like she's garbage. That's crazy. These are people that are sick. They're very vindictive. They're sadists. That's literally what it is, a sadist, because they think it's funny to do this to homeless people. It's like a joke to them. And when they did it with me, they came across the wrong person, because I'm an activist. I'm someone who advocates for homeless people. And even if I have to stay in the street and live in the damn dirt, I'm going to still do what I do. Understand? Because I'm not going to tolerate anybody bullying homeless people. I'm not going to tolerate the system exploiting homeless people for profit, because this is what they do. They're a non-profit organization who gets paid for housing homeless people. But what they're doing is they're taking any homeless people with criminal backgrounds, people with sexual offense backgrounds. This is who they're placing in your neighborhoods. Okay? If you go through my videos, you'll see and understand exactly what I'm talking about. The police is starting to get wind of it. The system, the DA, hopefully the media will pay mind to this and go, what's going on with this program? You understand? You can't be doing this and housing these perverts and deviants in unsuspecting neighborhoods and thinking it's funny. That's what they do. And if you expose it, they get upset and they retaliate against you. This is a tit for tat thing. But no, you can't come in the building now. Even though my stuff is still upstairs, I can't come in the building to take a shower, use the bathroom, nothing. I'm being humiliated because of exposing this. Hopefully, this investigation, this investigation here, which is what the outreach team failed to show up for today, will be remedied and will be investigated properly, and people held accountable for their neglect. You don't throw medical patients out on the street, especially when they haven't done anything other than expose your little nasty bullshit. Okay? You are some disgusting people to sit there and think that you can house perverts and deviants in unsuspecting neighborhoods and gain a profit from it so that they can continue doing their behavior wherever the hell they're at next. You don't accept these people. You don't take them into co-ed programs and have them attacking women inside your homeless shelters and then thinking that it's funny to do that. And then when you're called on it, you want to sit there and deny. You were finally caught, and you were finally caught in your bullshit. And hopefully the city will take this matter into serious consideration to investigate it. And believe me, if I get a lawyer right now, I'm gonna sue the shit out of you for what you've done to me because you caused my fucking medical situation to worsen because of your little stupid games. So, to be continued. God bless America, because I haven't forgotten and I won't forget.